And our first speaker is Alissa VanDeman. She is delivering a speech from the Pathways Strategic Relationships Project, Prepare to Speak Professionally. She is going to speak, her speech title is Planned Gift Donors Hidden in Your Database. Alissa has a decade of experience raising money for nonprofits. The past 2 years, she has focused on honing her skills raising planned gifts. One of the largest challenges in planned giving fundraising is finding donors to give this type of gift. Alissa will walk us through how to find a planned gift donors right under your nose in your own database. And her speech is 18 to 21 minutes. Please give her a warm Carol Wood Toastmaster welcome. One of our best Carol Woodians, Alissa.
Thank you very much, Jim, Toastmaster of the day. Can everyone see my screen that I'm sharing?
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Well, Toastmasters, let me see. I'm missing some of you now. Let me kind of change my view here a little bit. And pin the timer real quick. Okay, great. So, Toastmasters, welcome. Looking forward to having this time with you today. And I want you to pretend with me. We are in Chicago. It's Chicago. We're at an industry conference. The name of this conference is the PMDMC, Public Media Plan, I forget what it's called. Public Media Development and Membership Conference. And you've heard some great speakers today. You've had lunch, and now we're in a breakout session. And this breakout session is about planned gifts. And all of you here are fundraisers for public media radio stations or TV stations. Okay, so you got your parts. Everybody ready? I'm not seeing any reaction. All right, John. Woo! Thanks, Stefan. I see you out there. All right, so, well, welcome to our session today. We're going to be talking about planned gift donors who are hidden in your database. I'm going to give you a little background on what planned gifts are. We'll talk about practical vehicles to connect with planned gift donors, how to find them in your database, following up with them, and then putting it all together. So just a little background on me. I have spent more than a dalliance of time in fundraising. I've had a decade of experience, and I believe that all of us here that are fundraisers have the best job. As fundraisers, we get to see dreams realized and missions accomplished. We get to witness the magic of a donor making a gift in support of a mission or a project that they are passionate about. And it's the best part of our jobs. Wouldn't you agree? Well, I have been with donors who, when they are signing their gift documents, will be tearful because of the passion and the excitement that they have at the impact that they'll make on the community and the future generations. So just to kind of get a lay of the land, I want to see how long people have been in major in planned gift or as fundraisers. So who here, if raising your hands, have been in planned giving or fundraising for at least a year? Can you raise your hands? All right, awesome. Jim Sims, I know that you've been raising money in New York for more than a year. I didn't see your hand go up. And I know that you work over there for WNYC radio station. So I know you've been at least 5 years, some of you here for 10. So glad that you could be here and help. So why talk about planned gifts? What is a planned gift? Who can answer that for me? Stefan, what is a planned gift? What was that?
A gift that's planned.
That's right. It's a gift that a donor plans to make. They have to put a lot of thought into it. So an example of it is a gift that they put in their will or in their estate plans. So they're going to give that gift when they pass away. Who else knows what a planned gift or has an idea of an example of one?
Well, you can make it a recurring gift. That's the advantage of a planned gift for the nonprofit, is it gives them an income stream they can count on. Sometimes you'll see them on TV offering things. Instead of making one large lump sum payment, you can make monthly payments for less money, but the nonprofit still gets the money that it needs.
That's a good answer. What I think what you're talking about is like a monthly sustaining program. It's a little different than a planned gift, but you're correct. Someone planned to do that. Typically, a planned gift is one of those that's going to leave more of a legacy, or if they put it into an endowment, it'll give a gift in perpetuity. It'll never stop. So in that case regard, yes. A monthly or an annual gift that goes on and on and on. So why does your nonprofit want to raise planned gift funds? You may have a reason why you would want to do that.
To create an income stream.
Money.
That's 3 good reasons. Money, money, money. Right, to support your mission, like I said, in perpetuity. Planned gifts provide longevity. They provide stability for your organization and can help you continue running long into the future. You put that money into endowments, and as I mentioned just a minute ago, that endowment can provide money in perpetuity for that never, which means it never stops. It just keeps giving and giving. So now we know what a planned gift is and why we want to raise those types of funds. Let's talk about different ways we can reach out to our donors and talk about planned gifts to see if that's something that they would be interested in. The first thing I wrote down is a case statement. A case statement is pretty much like a one-page document that you create with a donor story and really heartstrings of your organization to pull the reader in. Now, the exercise of your organization actually creating a case statement is actually more valuable than the case statement itself. It's a living document, like living, breathing. You can update it at any time. Excuse me. However, it's one that it's going to be used more internally, but you could share it out with them. But it's a good way to start the process so that as a fundraiser, as you go out to talk about planned gifts, why you're doing this and what's it going to be for and how it impacts the community and the area you service. So I put Lori Crancer on here. She is a great resource for case statements. You can sign up for her newsletter. And even right now today, she put out an email that she's going to be doing a case statement workshop. So, and it's free. I did it a couple times actually to help create our case statement. So there's a little link for you. She's a great resource for all things planned gifts and legacies. Another way to reach out to your donors is just to talk to people about it. Most donors don't know, most people who are philanthropic may not even know about planned giving, or they may not have even had the thought, oh, I could add someone to my will, or I could name the organization as a beneficiary of our IRA. Say you don't use your whole IRA and there's some left, the residual can then be gifted as a beneficiary designation to the organization. Another way is surveys. This way, donors and people who receive the survey can just self-identify. They can say, I want to do this kind of gift, or I have already done it. And that's really exciting. There's different ways, services. You can do a free survey on like SurveyMonkey, or you can hire a vendor like MarketSmart. And I'm going to dive more into surveys as we go through this process, my presentation. and talk more about that. And then the other way is marketing. So marketing is more broad. Marketing, you can do that since you're a radio station or a TV station, you can market on air, online, social media, emails, newsletter, mailers. And then here's two resources. Stelter and Pantera are both really good resources to help you with this type of marketing, plan gifts that they do. We worked with Pantera. They did mailers as well as emails, and we're onboarding with Stelter right now. So I'm learning more about them. Do we have any questions at this point? No, great. So this, I know it's kind of small, you can't see it. I did bring copies and they're on the table in the back as you leave that you can pick up, okay? So, but here you can see our case statement. It's one page. It starts with a quote from a donor. Here's the picture of the donor. And then the other really important thing is that the information, there's contact information for a specific individual within your organization. Here we have three. We have Kathy Jordan, myself, and Scott Nolan. And that's so important because when someone leaves a gift to an organization in their will, it means you're as close to them as family. So they don't want to get, you know, contact information at WUSF. They're not going to do that. They're not going to call a general line and say, hey, I want to talk about leaving a planned gift to you. They want to, it's a personal gift. It's a personal relationship. And so they want to talk to a real person and know who they're going to be contacting. So surveys, what do you want to include in a survey? Well, it's important that you use science-backed questions. So Dr. Russell James, he is like the leading voice in science and research of fundraising. He has done research on donors, like their minds and how they think, and the best ways to ask a question, how to phrase a question, what order to ask questions. And he has done, he's been working with MarketSmart for their surveys, and we worked with them over the last couple years. And you can visit, I'm giving you free information here. You can go see our survey so that you can model your survey after Dr. Russell James, you know, science-backed questions surveys. And part of what those questions are, they ask the person taking the survey, what is your level of engagement and interest in the organization? Like, do you even believe in the mission? They ask also the likelihood of making a gift and the possible vehicles. And then we also ask demographic information. So in our database, I don't know about you, but we use Allegiance, and we don't capture any, you know, race, ethnicity. We don't capture age. We have a place for birthday, but we don't know people's birthdays unless they tell them. And then we have to remember to put it in there. We don't have age, children, married, not married, that kind of information. So we ask that in our survey. And this is just a clip to show you, like, this is our survey with 12 questions. Here's the first question, and it was that, do you think we provide meaningful, relevant content? So that was just the first basic question. But as you can see, we provided here in the top right-hand corner, this would link to our website. At any time in the survey, they can call my office. Clicking here would send me a direct email, and then clicking on how is this information used, that will take them to our policy and our privacy policy and other information on our website. This next one has an important question about supporters often recognize the need to help deliver the trusted news, and would you consider furthering our work in any of these ways? And the way they worded it was important. Would you consider? It's a permission. It's it's very open-ended, and here are some ways, and then offering these as, would you donate in any of these ways? We found this very valuable. It helps us get an idea of how they would like to give, how likely they are to give a planned gift, or any of these other assets. I wanted to include this question because of the way this is worded as well. it says many people like to include a charity in their will or estate to support the cause that's important to them. So they're establishing that other people are doing this. And then that says, would you consider including WSF, including a gift to WSF? So it's inviting you to join the other people, the many people that are already doing it. So it's a way to be inclusive, to be part of something, to do something other people are already doing. You're not new and different, but you're part of something bigger. And that is something that Dr. James says is important when giving surveys. And the final question that I wanted to share with you specifically was, how does our organization rank with other organizations that you support? Well, knowing where your organization stands in their list is very important. One of the things that I've been able to do using kind of like this question, even face to face, has really been eye-opening to see how passionate they are about us. And then the best follow-up question is, if you're not already at the top, how can we move up on your list? That is a great question to get feedback on. Is it programming? Is it, how we communicate? Do we communicate too much, not enough? That sort of thing, so that you can take that feedback back to your organization and become better. So now that you have your survey put together and you know why you're doing a plan give survey, who do you send the survey to? Well, the people who are going to give you a planned gift are already in your database. That is the great thing. You don't have to go buy a list. You don't have to do an acquisition mailing. You don't have to do any of those things. Look in your database. Well, who do you look for? Well, do a segmentation asking who is given consistently over the 10 years. So who is given for 10 years consistently? Who gives to your organization through a donor advised fund or through a community foundation? That is another good prospect, that they have forward thinking and they are planning ahead. Who has a deep passion that you already know for your organization? And who has a desire to make a larger gift without affecting their current income? Most of these planned incomes are really dealing with wealth and not a monthly budget type thing. So it's life insurance policies, it's stocks, it's, those types of gifts from an IRA, a QCD. So, and then who, like Dawn said, who is giving to you on a monthly basis? Typically, someone's annual gift is 10% of what they could give as a planned gift. So for example, if someone is giving $1,000 on an annual basis, that means that they have the potential of giving $100,000 in a planned gift. Now that's just like kind of a baseline, it could be more or less given each individual situation, but that's kind of like a guideline. So once you've got your survey together, you have your list of people you're going to send it to, you've sent it, and now you're getting all these wonderful responses back from your survey respondents. What do you do? Well, the important thing is follow up, follow up, follow up, because the last thing you want to do is have them do all that work to send you the information and do nothing with it. And sometimes it takes more than one touch point to get them to engage with you beyond the survey. So you're going to split those respondents up by how they answered the question about how likely they are to leave a planned gift to your organization. So those that said they definitely are interested, like this person already left a gift, you are going to call them within 3 days of getting their response. Call them, say you are their personal liaison to the organization. We thank you so much for taking the survey, and wow, we are so honored that you left us a gift. Thank you. I would love to hear more about that. Could we set up a time to talk or meet that works in your schedule? If I've made that call and left a message, I'll follow it up with an email. So then those that were like, I'm interested or likely to do it, make that phone call within a week. You may be inundated with lots of responses. You have other things on your plate. This is just one of the 10 things in your job that you do. I get that. So you got to make time for all of this and spread it out that works for you. And then someone said they would definitely consider, you would send them an email within 10 days. Same with someone that's requested additional information. And then those that did not request and they are not interested in you don't necessarily even need to respond to their survey response, because this is going to be the largest group. Group 5 is going to be the biggest group. And but if they did send you an email through the survey or followed up with something with a question or concern, definitely reach out to them. If they want a phone call, call them. If it was something big enough for a phone call, definitely do that, regardless of how interested they are, because that is donor relations and you may be cultivating them for a gift in the future. They are paying attention to how you respond. So I mentioned touch points. So say someone who left a gift, they got the survey in week 1. I gave them a call or an email in that week 2 within the 3 days, and I don't hear back. So I'm going to send them a touch point through email on week 5, just saying, hey, here's a neat story, thought you would be interested. They still haven't responded. In week 7, I'm going to send them a letter through the snail mail. And the letter says to the effect, thank you for taking our survey. We have a special gift for you, would love to meet you and say thank you in person. If you don't hear back from that, call them up. Hi, sent you a letter, just wanted to follow about thanking you and connecting. So week 11, you still haven't heard anything. You send them another email with a different story about something they might be interested that your organization is involved in or doing. And then don't hear again, send them the final note. It's kind of like the breakup note, like, we're still so grateful for your gift. And I've tried multiple ways to contact you and not hearing back. I'm curious about your preferred communication style or your communication preferences. But we'll continue sending information on occasion about how your support is impacting the community. So we're not completely saying I'm never contacting you again, but you as a major gift officer, a planned gift officer, you need to move on. It's time to move on. So that allows them that opportunity. Just you're saying goodbye to them basically, but in a really nice way. So I have gotten people to respond at all these different stages, and they give great information about how they want to engage with the organization all the way through. So when you're doing that follow-up, it's important to use permission-based asking. Just like in the survey, you say, would it be okay if, may I ask you a question? And then you ask a question. This permission-based asking is based on this Veritas Group Academy. You connect with the individual, align, be curious, ask, and celebrate whatever their answer is, and you keep going. I see my time is up, so I just want to conclude with putting it all together. You create your case statement, survey, and connect with your respondents, and always take the donor's lead, as the customer is always right. Thank you very much. Toastmaster.
General evaluator, thank you, Toastmasters, and thank you, Alissa. This is great. I didn't realize I was going to have the time to be at the meeting today, so when I saw there was an evaluation ready, I just jumped on it. Then I started to realize what my evaluation was. It's a level 5 project. So I did go into your old speeches on YouTube. I saw the one about what is it, mentors and proteges. I watched the one about my favorite things. I watched the one about respect. I think you opened up by using your boys as examples. And I will say you definitely get better. You get better and better and better as time goes on. So it gave me something to look for as opposed to not. So you started off strong. You remain strong the whole time, which is great. You tend to have a stronger speech whenever you've got your visual going. So you seem to have some. I don't know if it's my imagination or if it's actually a competence that you have, but that being the case, I would suggest using visuals all the time because you do so much better with them. This is the title of the speech was something about in our database, gift given or planned gift donors in our database, and it comes from the Professionally Speaking, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Professionally Speaking. Okay. Number one, when you use PMDFD or whatever that was, you got to know what those letters mean. You're gonna lose credibility real fast. So just a thought. You might want to be a little more brushed up on these abbreviations. But I loved it. I learned an awful lot, and I am very familiar with WSF. 100 years ago, I had a deli trying to save the family business, and so it became a deli for a while, and USF became a go-to station. Every so often I liked listening to classical music, and all of a sudden I found myself introduced to Lake Wobegon and the Garrison Keillor show, and that was amazing. So I'm knowing what your audience or what your donors are there for was great advice, to know what is it that sets you apart, that offers them something unique. And I like the idea that you're talking about ways that you can ask these questions. I especially like the one, where do you rank in this questionnaire that you send out? That's so important. I would like to have heard a little bit about some of the pluses and minuses in your mind. The planned gifts. The planned gift. In fact, it was like a Garrison Keillor joke. A ship is wrecked and the captain is telling the people there, we got out part of the message. We're really kind of hoping that somebody picked it up. And a guy in the back says, don't worry, I offered public radio $10,000 this year. Trust me, they'll find me. So there's, and then, Andy Rooney from the 60 Minutes episode, a long time ago. He had one about, he had sent some money to the United Negro College Fund because he thought it was a good idea. And then they spent all that money sending them more envelopes to get them to give more. And I'd like to know your thinking on where money might be wasted and such. There was, so much more I'd really love to talk about, but it was very great. And I loved watching those old speeches and today to just how far you progressed. You did really well. Thank you so much.